On today's Primetime Local News, how the Open Studies program benefits local middle school students. And final preparations are being made for a musical performance at the Vic Juba. Plus, Lloyd Comp student athletes are recognized at awards night.
Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Here in Lloydminster, City Council made the decision of choosing PCL Construction to be the company working on Lloydminster Place. Included in PCL's bid, which put it in the lead, was that it was a local corporation.
People will feel satisfied knowing that there will be a real push to have as much local content in the construction, suppliers, materials as possible. Certainly we have a great construction association that's made up of multiple members, from concrete to gravel right through to finishing work. And I think that having the opportunity to work with local flavor, and I think that's what PCL saw by offering and to work with Bexon Construction. Bexon has multiple subcontractors themselves, so they know the lay of the land and know where the industry is at today and the availability of staff. And Lloydminster, they're going to add just tremendous value to this construction project.
With the company now chosen, it's a race to the finish line for the groundbreaking planned next spring. A group of local youth will be taking the Vic Juba stage Friday and Saturday for their production of Seussical Jr. They're excited to perform after facing some setbacks. These local performers are putting in final rehearsals for this weekend's performance of Seussical Jr. Center Stage Studios had been working on a show last year that didn't take the stage due to increased pandemic restrictions. Director Catherine Edwards wanted to put on a production she was familiar with in the event they had to cancel this year's show.
Because we were just starting up after COVID and there was a lot of unknown as far as really if we would actually get to the stage again this time, I decided to pick something that I was familiar with and something that was going to be, well, relatively easy to pull off. I do not like them anywhere, not in a house.
Thankfully, they're poised to take the stage. Cast members say Seussical is a fun and uplifting show that features singing, dancing, and acting.
This year's production is very fun. It's just so colorful and exciting. There's not really any sad parts. It's just all happy.
I like it all, but I'd say the best part is the singing.
This year's production has a special meaning after the setbacks of the past few years.
We all were very, very disappointed and just devastated by that. And so to be back on stage again, I was talking to them earlier about how we're one day away from moving in, and they were so excited. They're cheering.
Tickets are still available for Friday and Saturday's performances. The cast and crew are hoping to have the community come out and see their 6 months worth of work take center stage.
We're hoping we can sell out both shows. I know our kids would love to see a full packed house.
Tickets are on sale at the Vic Juba and on their website. A program started 5 years ago to help students with a more hands-on approach to learning. This initiative is helping a Eco 9 class at E.S. Laird Middle School with working on projects. Our Shelby Clark has more in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
Students in Donald's class have 6 different projects to work on and can decide on which ones to prioritize. This approach shows students how to manage their time wisely, which is a much-needed life skill that schools don't normally get to teach.
So some of them are working on stools, some of them are working on their space rockets, some of them are going to be in the hydro room, replanting plants.
Sean Donald, along with other teacher Aaron Claxon, started this program 5 years ago at the school. Over time, they've adjusted the program to grow each year with any challenge that comes their way.
It is fully entertaining and it is a very much hands-on learning, and you remember things more when it's physical instead of just writing it down on paper. So it's a very fun way to learn and educate yourself while also learning real life scenarios that you can use in the future.
Donald says from his experience, students have benefited and enjoyed the new hands-on teaching method, especially for end-of-the-year projects. With all the obstacles from the pandemic with students in and out of the classrooms, this motivates everyone to get back into that grind.
I just think that education like this is very, very important. It's a little different than how we see the education system that's been built up over the last 200 years. And classes like this one help to change our perspective on education and add more to our classrooms than just sitting in a classroom doing textbook work.
The students continue to have fun with their projects and have even learned some valuable life lessons from this program.
I think it's a good thing to have. Like, it kind of encourages you to be able to work on your own, or like a lot of the group things we do. Like, it encourages your leadership and like you're working as part of a team.
And that's it in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
At Lakeland College, our students are challenged to go beyond the classroom, so when industry knocks, they're ready to thrive. Learn more at lakelandcollege.ca.
Now here's a look at today's agriculture prices. A local high school held their athletics banquet for the first time in 3 years. Athletes, coaches, and family members all gathered at Lloyd Comprehensive High School Tuesday night to celebrate an exciting year of sports. Multiple awards were handed out, including Male and Female Athlete of the Year, which went to Shepard Gow and Javen Anderson, respectively. Both athletes spoke on what it meant to receive the award.
It's a big honor. This is a big honor to my family, to just who I am. Like, I've been working hard for this. Honestly, everyone deserves it, but like, I'm glad I could take it home today.
Honestly, I was very surprised that I was getting it, especially due to me being grade 11. I still have one more year, which is really exciting. But no, I was very surprised, and it means very much. My older sister also got it when she graduated, and sports has been my life, and I love every sport I've ever played, and it's a big opportunity, and I'm super happy that I got it.
Anderson will return to the Barons next season to co-captain the women's rugby team, while Gow will play volleyball this fall for the Lakeland Wrestlers. The Bonnyville Pontiacs are heading into the 2022-23 season with a new face behind the bench. Our Adil Ahmed sat down with the newest head coach for the franchise.
I am now pleased to be joined by the 10th head coach in franchise history for the Bonnyville Pontiacs, Brad Flynn. Brad, thanks so much for coming on, and congratulations on the position.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Certainly. Well, this is your second go around actually here in Alberta coaching. You spent some time down with the Red Deer Rebels in the Western Hockey League. What brought you back to Alberta to coach once again?
Yeah, I saw that there was a great opportunity for a head coaching job. I really enjoyed my time in Alberta. The people in Alberta were great. And obviously when that opportunity came up in Bonnyville, with a good organization, and I've heard nothing but great things about the organization and the community. I applied and was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to be selected and to come back to Alberta, and really looking forward to it.
Now, of course, you have a variety of experience. You go from assistant coach, associate coach, even director of hockey ops, and you've also spent some time as a head coach as well. Just all those experiences combined, what has it led for you to be in the position that you're in now?
Yeah, I think it's just given me more tools for the toolbox, so to speak. I've had the opportunity to work under some very good coaches. My father is a career coach. I've learned an incredible lot from him. I've learned a lot from guys like Brent Sutter, Mario Pouliot, Chris Lazary, guys that have won it at the major junior level and have had success at the major junior level. And then also I've had my own experience running a bench, and I think that you only get that experience by sitting in the chair and doing it. And for me, I really enjoyed being a head coach, but I also wanted to continue to grow as a coach so I could help the players and the organizations that I'm with to improve, and to do that I had to get better. And I think that you're always a student of the game, but in saying that, I just feel very fortunate that I've had some really good people that I can go back on and look at the things that I've learned, and then be able to reach out to them for advice, and got to grow from.
Before you went into coaching, you did play up until the age of 29 before you ultimately decided to retire and pursue a career in coaching. Did you always know that's what you wanted to do, and you always had that in the back of your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate that I was a pretty solid younger player. Got the opportunity to play for Team Nova Scotia, U16, different things like that, and had the opportunity to play prep school level, the junior A level, and went on to Division III, and then finished at the youth sport level, Brock University, and then had the opportunity to play a little bit of minor pro. So I found I was never the most talented guy, but I was a hardworking guy, and a guy that brought good attitude and lots of energy, and would do little things and understand the team dynamic. But during that time, as I kind of climbed in levels, I could tell that I wasn't going to make a career money or retirement type of money by playing the game. And I love the game, and I always have. And growing up around it, I thought another way that I could stay in the game was impact younger players and help give them an opportunity and give back. And that's when I really started analyzing, not so much analyzing, but really learning from the coaching staffs that I had. It wasn't necessarily what I had to do as a player, but how they managed the top players on the team and different systems. And I really enjoyed that part of it, as well as having the opportunity to help build the team. That I guess probably from about my U18 midget career on, I always wanted to get into coaching after high school. It was something that I looked forward to, but I knew that it was important to get a degree. I ended up with a degree in history, and if I wasn't a hockey coach, I'd probably be a teacher.
Of course, now that you're the head coach of the Pontiacs, just what are some of your goals or expectations that you have set for the upcoming season?
We want to have a really competitive, hardworking team that plays the game to the best of our abilities, night in and night out. I think that's got to be a foundational, non-negotiable, where we show up, we work hard every day, we want to improve, we want to get better, and it's a team that's going to take a lot of pride in representing Bonnyville and representing the logo on the front of the jersey. And our goal is to make the playoffs. I think that's everybody's goal to start the season, and that's what we're going to work towards doing. It's already started on the coaching, the management side, but when the players arrive from day one, our number one goal is to make the playoffs, and then from there we'll reassess and we'll set new goals round by round, hopefully. But our big goal is to get back. There was some success last year in the regular season, and we have a standard that we want to uphold, and that's that'll be our goal going forward early in the season.
Well, Brad, I just want to say thank you again so much for coming on and taking time out of your day to chat with me. Congratulations on the new position as head coach, and best of luck in the upcoming season.
Thanks. I really appreciate you having me. I look forward to it in the future.
The CFL regular season begins this week, and that means teams were required to reduce their rosters. The Riders will have some new faces to the team this year, and CTV's Britt Dort has more on who'll be suiting up for the green and white for the first time.
Some fresh faces are repping the green and white. The Riders unveiling the season's first active roster on Sunday, and players like rookie Jacob Prahl were excited to make the cut.
Immediately just calling my parents because it's been a long process for me, trying to find a team and trying to find the right fit, and a world-class organization like this, it's really just an honor to be a part of the active roster.
He's a rookie, right? And he's came in and he stole a starting job. Obviously, it's part of the business, so letting go of Paul McRoberts, who did incredible things for us. But to have a young guy like him come in and just grasp this offense as quickly as he did, and he's a speedster, so I think Rider Nation will be excited to see him run around and making some plays for us.
Another newcomer joining the team is DeMarcus Christmas. The defensive lineman has spent time in the NFL with the Steelers and Seahawks, but is still getting used to the Canadian style of play.
I'm adjusting well, it's not too much really different, just a couple of different rules, but it's good. It's back in football, so.
He also showed us a lot of versatility. He can play either tackle spot, and he's a high rep guy.
Samuel Emelis and Jaden Dahlke were two from the 2022 draft class to make the initial cut. And fresh off their final year of school, offensive lineman Logan Bandy and linebacker A.J. Allen are readying to start their professional football career.
We got a veteran group, but we got some young studs on that defensive line that I think will help out. And then not to mention the offensive line.
A roster Dickinson believes is a strong start to a pressure-packed season.
We stayed healthy for the most part in camp, and we feel like that's a good bunch. On paper, at least, it looks like we got a competitive team.
Britt Dort, CTV News, Regina.
All right, it's time now to head on over to Shelby Clark once again, who has another look at our weather forecast.
Thanks again, Mr. Jace Mackey. Now taking another look at your weather forecast, we'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. And on the Alberta side, we've warmed up just slightly from what we were seeing yesterday for sure. Whitecourt is looking slightly cooler still at that 11-degree mark. 14 in Edson, while Jasper is just almost reaching the 20 mark. And it is 16 down in Rocky Mountain House, and the rest have warmed up. Red Deer is just reaching 20, while it is 21 up in Athabasca. And Edmonton is the warmest there at 22. Switching now to our Saskatchewan side, they are seeing much warmer temperatures compared to the Alberta side. 20 over in Melfort, while most spots are seeing around 23, 24 over on this end. Cold Lake is also just reaching that 22-degree mark. But as we go over to our northern zone, they are still seeing some nice warmer temperatures for the Saskatchewan side. Especially, we were seeing them have kind of a warm streak continuing on as we head more into the season, and they definitely are warming up more and more as we go later on through the week. 19 in both Buffalo Narrows and La Loche, while it is 20 just in South End, 21 degrees in Wolston Lake and down in Flin Flon, while it is 23 down in La Ronge and up at Stony Rapids near Name City. They are the warmest there, just reaching 24. Switching now back to our Alberta side here. They are kind of matching with the Saskatchewan side. Peace River and Grand Prairie looking slightly cooler with those 18 and 19 marks, but of course they are close to 20 degrees, so not looking too bad whatsoever. 22 in Fort McMurray, while the rest are just seeing 23. So we are getting more higher up into those 20 temperatures for sure as we're heading more into the season. And going over to our southern zone now, they are looking a little bit warmer than what they were seeing on earlier on in the week, especially on the Alberta side. They weren't even reaching close to that 20 mark earlier on, but now most spots are just seeing 22. 21 down in Lethbridge, while Banff is slightly cooler at 17 degrees. And now switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are still on that warm streak, slightly warmer compared to the Alberta side. 22 in both Moose Jaw and Regina, while Swift Current is at 21, and most spots are seeing around 23, 24. So still looking quite warm. But as we go back across the region to seeing what we will expect throughout our evening and throughout the night, temperature-wise, I think we will be pretty happy because as you can see, we are seeing those double digits for most spots. Unfortunately, though, we will be seeing a high chance of some rainfall throughout the evening for most spots across the region. But we will be seeing some nice warmer temperatures than what we would expect. Provost will be seeing the coolest with a low of 9, while Myrna will be seeing a low of 10. Paradise Hill and Wainwright will be expecting to see a low of 11 degrees, while Unity will be seeing a low of 12, and the rest will be slightly warmer with a low of 13, 14 degrees. But most spots will be seeing that high chance of some rainfall and seeing a risk of a thunderstorm later on through the evening as well. And for looking at our 3-day forecast for here in the border city, we will be seeing a nice warm day for the next couple. For Thursday and Friday, we will be seeing 23 throughout the day. So please get out there and enjoy it. We're seeing some gorgeous days coming up here to start off our weekend. We'll be seeing lots of sunshine as well, but make sure you are using that sunscreen and getting in shade as much as possible if needed. Please be safe out there, even though we are seeing some beautiful temperatures. And then Saturday for our weekend, we will be seeing 24, so even warming up from 23, but we will be seeing around a 90% chance of some rainfall once again. But, you know, we will be seeing some beautiful days, so that won't hurt us too much. That is a look at your weather forecast. Our Jason Mack will have more news coming up after the break.
I'm joined by the chart-topping and award-nominated Canadian country artist Bree Taylor today out of Ontario. And it's an absolute pleasure having you here to talk about your latest single, Sha-La-La. I love this song. Can't wait to tell more people about it. But first, what I love is that from the age of 6 years old, you wanted to be a recording artist. You wanted to have a career in music. And now you're here. You're making music. You're bringing out absolute country jams. So for anyone around here who may not know you or are unfamiliar with you, tell us a bit more about yourself.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Yeah, so I am a country artist from Ontario. I have been making music for the last 4 years in country, and I started out when I was young, and I've had a journey through music. I started out in my career with pop music, but the reason I was so delayed in pursuing things was because I had to overcome a hearing disability that I do have. I do wear hearing aids to help me through my day-to-day life, as well as a vocalist, and it was something that was really hard for me to go through in my teenage years because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hear at all at one point, and to be able to be a singer, and it held me back for a really long time, and it was something I had to overcome internally myself. So it's something that I've let held me back, and I've decided I'm just going to go for it anyways, and hopefully being more open with my story about that now too could be inspiring to others, because I've realized the more I've talked to people and told them in confidence, they're like, wait, why don't you publicly talk about this? So it's something that I've just really, I don't know why I've just never talked about it, and yeah, it's been great, and I love the feedback when people love hearing about that story. So yeah, it's obviously a hurdle to go through with everything, with live shows, with recording and everything, but you know, I don't let anything hold me back.
It definitely doesn't seem like that. You are kicking so much butt. I love it. Now, it is summer officially. June is the official month of summer. Tell us a bit about some of your favorite activities in Ontario.
Festival season, of course, going to live shows. I love going to the cottage. Lakeside is always fun. I just hanging out with friends, having a good time. And that's really what my new single Sha-La-La all encompasses as well, is being able to just get together with your friends, have some beers, you know, have a good time, be by the lake, by a bonfire, and just sing along to a guitar at a campfire, and just have fun and enjoy yourself in all those like lovely campfire activities and summer activities that you do. And yeah, it's just pretty much anything and everything, being outdoors, patio season, the whole shebang.
Love a good patio season. I can't wait to continue to hit up more patios in the next couple of weeks here as the weather is getting nicer and nicer. So what kind of shows are you looking forward to this summer?
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing my Cheers and Beer show on Friday, June 10th, which I've been pulling together and partnered with the charity called 10 Fed. They are absolutely incredible. So every ticket we sell to the show feeds 10 children. And then I've also partnered with them on a t-shirt merch deal where we have an exclusive t-shirt through them as well that will also feed 10 children for every t-shirt sold. So that show's coming up. I'm really excited about it. I have a couple shows at the Moonshine Cafe, which is kind of like a local venue that I play at quite a bit. And then I'm planning another charity show with my family for hematochromatosis awareness. My grandfather and my grandmother actually had that condition, and so it's something we do yearly. It's a golf tournament, and then I always perform at it as well. So we're excited to do it a little bit bigger and better this summer, and more shows to come. I'll be posting on my website, so people can stay tuned on there to check them out.
I absolutely love that. And it sounds like you have a very busy summer ahead of you, which is so exciting. Now, coming out just in time for summer in May, you brought out this new song that we talked about a couple of seconds ago, Sha-La-La. It is bursting with a catchy head-bopping chorus and anthemic lyrics. For us, it is perfect for summer and also perfect for beer garden and cabaret season because it is so upbeat. It is so great. It is making waves. So tell us about the creation of this song and what it means to you.
Thank you. I'm so excited. And you like made that perfectly. Like, yeah, it is just such a song for those beer gardens, for those festivals, for people to just sing along to. We really wanted a song that people could easily sing along to, that they could get behind, they could relate to, that they could just easily be able to enjoy and want to repeat over and over again. And it is a catchy little earworm of a song, which is very much credited to my co-writers and my producer as well, because he came to me with the idea of, you know, Brown Eyed Girl and Van Morrison and, you know, a broken guitar at a campfire campfire and just the popularity of the song and everyone singing it and knowing it and getting behind it when they're at an event or something. And it's just one of those songs. And so we kind of built around that and I wanted to have something be very positive and uplifting, something people can kind of listen to and forget their worries of their day-to-day life, let it all go for a couple minutes and just enjoy the couple minutes of a song and just have a good time with their friends. So it's a really, really cool that we kind of pulled this together, and I wanted something just very carefree. Obviously, a lot of my past releases have been very emotionally tied or had a big story to it. And so sometimes you just need that song that's just some carefree good times. So I hope everyone's really loving it. I'm glad to hear so far so good.
It is a good time for a couple of minutes, that is for sure. So of course I got to ask, where can everybody get this song, Sha-La-La, and learn more about you?
Yeah, they can check me out, my website, brietaylor.com, my Instagram, brietaylorofficial. I'm very, very active on there. But on my website has all the links, all the things, all the stuff you need to know about me. My tour dates will be on there as well for any upcoming shows. And yeah, that's come to say hi to me if you see me in person, or come say hi online virtually. I'm very friendly and I'd love to chat with people.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Bree. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
It had been a very interesting off-season for the CFL with labor disputes and lots of other very interesting things that happened, but we still got to have a CFL season, which will be starting on Thursday. Today we have Jace Mackey here to talk to us about the CFL season. So let's start off with our defending champions. What do you think about the Blue Bombers? Will they be able to capture that third Grey Cup ring in a row?
I'm not going to give a definite yes, but I think the Blue Bombers are definitely, I'd say, the best positioned team right now to go and three-peat. That's crazy, you know. Like you were saying, very interesting off-season, and even last season was it wasn't a normal off-season or a season. It was a shortened season. Winnipeg, they did great in 2019, had that year off in 2020, came back and really dominated the league on both sides of the ball. They have a great culture there that Mike O'Shea has established. This year, they have some holes to fill on the offense. So they still got their quarterback, Zach Claros, who I think everyone is expecting to have another great year. But they're missing Kenny Lawler, who was a great receiver for them. I think he was the only receiver in the league to go past the 1,000-yard mark. And they're also going to be missing hometown boy Andrew Harris. So they're going to have to fill those gaps. They already went out and got Greg Ellingson in the offseason from the Elks. So they're hoping he'll kind of fill that receiver role on the offense. And then the reason they got rid of Andrew Harris was they felt like they had the depth there. So I think the greatest strength for Winnipeg is they have the depth really across the board in all their positions, and they got that strong culture.
Yes, yes. And so in that Western Conference final, they beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders, so close to making it to that Grey Cup final. Yeah. What would you say about the Roughriders? They've made some changes this year as well. What are their chances to try and dethrone the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the top of the Western Conference?
Well, I think Saskatchewan has always been a good team. They made the playoffs, they made the Western Final, like you said, but they haven't been able to turn that corner and make it to the big game. They've got added pressure this year too because Saskatchewan is hosting the Grey Cup. They were supposed to in 2020, then it got pushed to this year, so they're hosting that. So that's extra pressure on quarterback Cody Fajardo. So we'll see how he responds there. They also are going to have to fill a hole at running back as well. William Powell left in free agency, so they're going to have to figure out where they're going to go when it comes to the running back. And also they have to keep their quarterback standing upright. I think Cody Fajardo is great at scrambling, but sometimes, that's when he'll make his mistakes when he's having to scramble too much. So I think Saskatchewan is in a good position, but it remains to be seen if they're going to be able to actually make it at home. They have that added pressure. Rider Nation is going to be there in full force, and I think they're going to be cheering extra loud this year because they want the Riders to win the Grey Cup at home. Who doesn't want that?
Yes, for sure, especially since last time the Grey Cup was in Rider Nation, they ended up capturing the Grey Cup. And then finally, the Edmonton Elks, they had the worst record in the league last season.
Yes. Don't remind me.
Yes, it was very unfortunate for us Elks fans. What are they? They've got a new coach under center, some new quarterbacks, a bit of a controversy there. What are you expecting from the Elks this season?
Yeah, they have a new old coach, hey? Chris Jones is back, and I think that brings a lot of excitement to a lot of Elks fans. There was a little bit of maybe he left some bitterness in people's mouths when he left to Saskatchewan, but I think everyone's kind of welcoming him back. I think Edmonton is going to have a better year this year than last year, but there's still a lot that they need to sort out. So I don't think they're going to be making a strong push to the Grey Cup, but I think there's a chance they could maybe even be a crossover team and head and play the playoffs in the Eastern Division. They have a lot of questions to answer, especially when it comes to quarterback. They had 4 quarterbacks come in during training camp, and at the end of everything, they still have 4 quarterbacks on the roster, so there's a lot to figure out there. Nick Arbuckle was a quarterback they acquired under the previous general manager at the end of last season. He didn't play a snap. It seems like he is going to be slotted in that first QB spot, and he had a good first preseason game, was injured, and didn't play in the second preseason game, but he's back, was practicing this week, and it looks like he'll be starting that game against BC for week 1. We'll see how he does. They also have Taylor Cornelius, who was a starter to finish off last year. They also drafted Trey Ford, who's a Canadian quarterback who they seem pretty optimistic with. And Kai Loxley is another quarterback on their roster who can also play receiver and who did fairly well in their second preseason game. So we'll see how things go there. Chris Jones also brought in players like Tony Washington, some players that kind of know his system. So we'll see where they go, but I definitely think this will be an improvement, but I don't think they're going to be at the level of, let's say, Winnipeg or even Hamilton.
Yes, yes. Well, hopefully we'll see a little bit better season from the Elks and a little bit better season for the CFL as in general. Last season wasn't exactly great for their revenues, but it certainly will be a much more exciting season, much more fuller season, and something that all Canadian football fans will be able to look forward to. Thank you so much, Jace, for being with us today. And like I said, Game 1 will be starting on Thursday between the Calgary Stampeders and the Montreal Alouettes, and so we look forward to that, and we'll have more CFL coverage later on down the line.
Ending off with taking a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be seeing those 23s coming up Thursday and Friday with a mixture of some sun and clouds, so get ready for some beautiful days. 24 on Saturday with a high chance of some precipitation once again, but don't worry, we'll be saving it there on Sunday with a lot more of a sunnier day with 22. We will be seeing some slight rainfall coming up here for the next few days, but we will still be seeing some nice warm temperatures and some sunnier days, so don't worry too much. Then next week we will be continuing on that warm streak with 20 on next Monday and 19 next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank you so much for that, Shelby, and thank you all for joining us tonight for Primetime Local News. Stick with us, though. Our second hour continues next.